CCTV footage is often used as a security measure in public spaces. The kind of footage has proven useful in finding criminals and locating missing persons. You may not think so, but security footage often features the last known whereabouts of people that have vanished. It can give them the best and most up-to-date description to the said person and even the clothing they were wearing. Of course, you can't forget that when multiple sets of footage are collected in the order they were recorded, officers can make a general map and timeline of the person's actions. Other times, the last known footage leaves more questions than answers, though. Number 5. The story of 6-year-old Timothy Pitson is a dark, confusing one. Timothy woke up on the morning of May 11th, 2011, as though it were a day like any other. His father drove him to school in Illinois, as he did every morning, and dropped him off. Unlike any other day, however, Timothy was only present on campus for a few hours before his mom came to school to withdraw him from class. CCTV footage from the school confirmed that Timothy's mother took him out, which she was legally allowed to do. The footage didn't show anything concerning about either of the parties, and they both seemed happy. After this day, Timothy's mother took him on a 3-day adventure in which they visited many water and amusement parks along the route of their supposed trip. Later in the day, on May 11th, Timothy's father went to pick him up from school and waited a while before realizing that his son was clearly not coming out to his car. His father then went inside and began questioning the whereabouts of his son. As soon as he realized he was missing, his father got loved ones together and police became involved. An investigation soon sparked, and on May 13th, Timothy's mother called a few relatives to report that she had the child safe where they were and that they were just going on a mother-son road trip. In one of these calls, Timothy can be heard in the background complaining that he was hungry. The call was then traced northwest of Sterling, near Route 40. Sometime that same evening, Amy, Timothy's mother, took her own life. Her body was discovered by a maid in a hotel in Rockford. She left behind a note that explained she was sorry for the mess she was making and that Timothy would never be found. She also disclosed that he was safe and in the hands of people that would care for him. It was after finding Amy's body that investigators began collecting CCTV footage that showed the pair along their route. The various videos showed Timothy and his mother at water and amusement parks, hotel rooms, bus stations, and corner stores along their journey. Timothy was last seen in at least 4 of these videos, with the very last one being recorded in a hotel lobby at the front desk. His mother was conversating with employees, likely trying to check out of a room. The child seemed a bit frustrated and bored, but was overall in good health and didn't seem to be any danger. This video, showing Timothy fidget and play around in the lobby, was the last known footage of him alive. After this, his mother was seen on footage at a dollar store without her son. At the dollar store, she purchased materials that she would later use to take her own life. After her shopping, she arrived at the Rockford Hotel where she checked in, again accompanied by her child and later following through with her plan. Despite new evidence and a few false alarms, the whereabouts of Timothy have yet to be revealed. Number 4. Unfortunately, this entry doesn't have the open ending that you'd expect in a missing persons case. 18-year-old British-American student Hannah Graham went missing on September 13, 2014. Hannah's friends last heard from her the night before at around 1:20 a.m. They had just left a party and were traveling to meet up when she texted a friend about being lost. It's unclear how the rest of her night went down, but the last place she was seen was in a surveillance footage captured that evening in a downtown mall in Charlottesville, Virginia. This piece of footage is actually the most recent of a small collection of videos in which Hannah was spotted. According to the footage and witness reports, she was last seen at a Tempo restaurant with a 32-year-old man named Jesse Leroy or LJ Matthew, alongside another person of interest. In the footage, Hannah seems very intoxicated despite being under the legal drinking age. Each video shows her staggering and almost falling over on several occasions. Hannah was seen on footage at McCrady's Irish Pub just across the street from a Shell gas station, before arriving at the mall where she was filmed at Sal's Cafe. Witnesses described seeing Hannah later that night with a man they described as unfriendly looking and slightly angry. One witness reported seeing Hannah drunkenly leaning against a car that was later confirmed to be Matthew's orange 1998 Chrysler Sebring. She was heard saying, "I'm not getting into that car with you." When Hannah's loved ones realized that she was missing, they called the police, who pieced together videos to create a general timeline of Hannah's last hours. A search effort included over 1,000 people and took place almost immediately after, but was unsuccessful. Sadly though, on October 18, 2014, human remains were found on an abandoned property, and on October 24th, the remains were confirmed to have been Hannah's. The investigation that followed found the suspicious man with Hannah, L.J. Matthew, to be her killer. He was charged with capital murder and could have faced the death penalty. He was also found to have been connected in at least 4 other accounts of abduction and assault. Number 3. 19-year-old communications major Jesse Ross went missing in 2006. His case is mysterious and even suggests that he literally vanished as if by some magical force. Jesse was alone on a trip to Chicago and planned to attend a Model United Nations meeting in Sheraton Chicago Hotel and Towers. At least 1,200 other students from around the world were present for the event, and it first seemed like a positive experience for the young, passionate college student. Of course, things took a darker turn that evening. The event was a 3-day gathering, and on the last day, a celebratory dance was being held at around 10 p.m. Jesse had drank a little at the dance and attended another sudden mock meeting and left around 2 a.m., claiming he needed a break and would be back shortly. His peers watched him walk out and he was never seen again. Friends that he'd made at the event explained that he'd clearly had a few drinks but would not go as far as calling him drunk. The last known footage or sighting of Jesse is the surveillance video collected of him in the hotel elevator and lobby. In the video, he didn't seem severely intoxicated, distraught, confused, or upset in any fashion. When people realized that Jesse was missing and the police were pulled into the picture, it was assumed that Jesse had left the hotel to walk to his own room at a nearby location. He then, in theory, stumbled and fell into the Chicago River due to his drunkenness. There are several flaws with that theory, though. The first being that it was already confirmed via witness testimony that Jesse wasn't that drunk, especially not enough to fall into a river. Furthermore, Jesse's hotel was only a 10-minute walk away and was along a well-lit route with many security cameras, none of which even caught a glimpse of the young man. In fact, not a single security camera in the immediate area filmed Jesse, which is very odd considering the amount of cameras crowding the busy street. Unfortunately, Jesse has still not been found, and the videos recorded just moments before his disappearance are the last known images of it. Number 2. 29-year-old Kelsey Frazee was a mother who went missing in Woodland Park area on Thanksgiving of 2008. Video surveillance shows the last time Kelsey was ever seen. She left her home early in that day to pick up a few final Thanksgiving needs from a nearby supermarket. The video shows Kelsey entering the store with her 1-year-old child and a carrier. She then grabs a basket and casually shops before leaving the store. The exact timeline of events following her departure are unclear, but at some point she vanished. When family had not heard from the young woman all day on what was supposed to be a special holiday, they began to worry that something was wrong. After failed efforts to reach out to the woman, the police got involved. Patrick Frazee, Kelsey's fiancé and the father to her child, told investigators that she stopped home after a grocery trip to drop off her child before leaving and apparently vanishing. Her employer reported that on the same day she went missing, he received a text message from her saying that she would not be returning to work that week. Investigators tracked down the last known location of her phone, and it was pointed out to a small town about 600 miles from Woodland Park, where the woman was living at the time. Several days of searching followed the missing persons report, and on December 2nd, Kelsey's mother joined with Woodland Park police to host a press conference in which her mother begged that she return home safely. Frazee, her fiancé, declined an invitation to attend the conference. Eventually, he was arrested in connection with the murder, and an investigation searched his property for any evidence. A small fragment of a tooth was found on the property and will soon undergo testing. A woman claiming to be Frazee's girlfriend came forward and informed police that the man told her he killed his soon-to-be wife and gave gruesome details about how he did so. His girlfriend also mentioned that he dumped her body at either a landfill or a river. Police spent 2 months covering ground at various landfills and dump sites but came up empty-handed and were forced to suspend the search. At this time, Frazee's guilt is undetermined, and there's yet to be any new evidence in the case. All that there is at this time is the last video ever recorded of a devoted mother happily shopping for her family. Number 1. 23-year-old Mackenzie Luke from California landed in Salt Lake City, Utah for school on June 17, 2019. After landing at the international airport, she took a Lyft ride to Hatch Park, where authorities believe she met with someone before she vanished. Her family filed a missing persons report after Luke didn't attend a final exam, would not return their phone calls, and failed to board her flight home. Investigators immediately began to search for the young woman and found surveillance footage from the airport showing her after she just got off the plane. While the entire footage was not released to the public, some portions of it can be found online, and a variety of photos from the video have been published by countless news outlets. Luke's Lyft driver was interrogated as a possible suspect, but was quickly let off the hook thanks to an alibi proving his innocence. The driver said that she seemed happy and not distressed in the slightest. The driver dropped her off at Hatch Park, the last place that she was seen alive. Investigators found that she'd been communicating with a 31-year-old, and that data collected from both of their phones confirmed that they were in the park at the same time. A warrant allowed investigators to search the 31-year-old's property, and in July of 2019, the charred remains and belongings of Luke were found in the 31-year-old's backyard, and he's since been arrested as the sole person of interest. An anonymous contractor came forward after the man's arrest and claimed that he wanted a soundproof room built in April. He requested that the room contain concrete walls with hooks in them and a fingerprint lock. The room was never built though. An investigation is still ongoing and a lengthy trial is sure to follow. These few photos are all that exist as proof of the victim's last hours.
An elegant weapon for a more civilized age.